The name of the show is The Way to Go. My name is Alan Bendich. I'm going to be your host. Tonight's guest is Max Bendich. How you doing, Pop?
How are you, my son?
Good.
Try and get your hand back.
Yeah, so we were talking a little bit about, like, Cara, your granddaughter, and she's at Wesleyan, and, you know, that, I forgot the guy's name, but the guy who made Hamilton is a graduate, and he returns, you know, from time to talk to people, and the director of Shark Tank and The Bachelor, which are these reality type of shows, and I think he also does what's the other show? Family Feud. He comes and he talks every year to the parents and the kids.
That was a successful show.
All of them are. It continues to be. It's on now, and the guy's just a young. He's a young guy, meaning he's probably 40, but he talks about how he graduated from Wesleyan. And then, you know, each step of the way, how he became like what they call a production assistant, and, you know, each step of the way to become one of the top guys in television. And it's amazing, you know. There's a lot of opportunities, and Cara's really having a good time. She's doing her choreography. She's part of something called the Terp Corps, which is an established group of dancers that every year they have a show. And in the show, I think it might be every semester, but I know every year they have a show. And you don't have to be a dancer. All they have to do is you want to dance. So it's open to all students, and they all just have a tremendous show. And Wendy and I went last year to see it, and we saw Cara's dance. It was fantastic. And she's part of like the group that runs that. So she's really established herself already, and she's doing well. Isn't that great?
It's above me, you know. Why? Because in my whole life,
yes,
I danced. I was a good dancer.
I know you were a dancer, definitely.
I was a good dancer, but it never occurred to me that someone could tell me what to do with this. I did things on my own, and was it good or bad, I would always have a girl on my arms.
Right.
You know, that was the whole dancing. What is dancing? It is, yeah, except for the ballet.
Right.
It's more than one person that is attached to a
Right.
group.
It's sort of like communicating really close with movement, right?
Movement.
And it's communicating.
No, it's, Alan, it's movement, Alan.
Right. And it's communication, because you're communicating with the person you're holding, right? But it's interesting, you know, with the whole choreography thing that she does. And the other thing is the dancers love working with her because she has a certain, you know, Cara. I mean, the way she is.
Then she has it 100%.
Right.
Because if she brings over, I forgot Elan or
whatever. But the one thing that's interesting that also is that I remember when she won the Rockefeller Award a couple of years ago when she graduated, which was this award for the arts, and the top dancers of her school that were in this thing called the PACE program wanted to dance in this one dance that really was an unbelievable dance, and you actually got a chance to see it, and they put it on TV, and it was brought to the town hall or whatever. She won the award, but she was always able to get the best dancers who wanted to do her choreography, and you know, that's like a good credit for her. You know, the fact that, you know, they wanted to be in her dance.
But she has to work with students.
Right.
Now, the one against the other. What's the word of that?
Compete.
Huh?
To compete.
The competition must be rough.
Well, for the Terp dance, the Terp Corps, which it's called, whatever, is anyone who wants to go in can be in it. They had hundreds of kids on stage, students on stage doing all these different dances, and it was just wonderful. But for the ones that you have to audition for, you know, not everyone can make the cut. You know, so there is competition always.
Why can't
there's not enough parts. That's the whole thing. I mean, if you run an audition and you have people coming in on a Sunday, and you have, like, you know, 15 parts, and 100 people come, 85 people probably aren't going to get the parts. You know, that's how it works, and it's sad.
And who is the one that says it?
Well, that's it. Cara's one of them usually, because she's usually part of she's the choreographer. Then they have the person who, whatever, the other people who are doing other things who are part of like a show or whatever. And usually it's a group of people who decide, if you could stay or you have to go, and it's sad.
So, but you can say Kara is learning.
Oh yeah, she's learning.
She's learning.
And the other person who's learning, your grandson, my son Aaron. Now, he's working at a place that he graduated with two majors, film and computer science, and right now he's working for a company that deals with streaming, which we do also. We stream onto the internet, content. As well as being on TV, because LMC TV streams live as we're showing. At the same time that it's on TV, it streams over the internet, so you could actually watch these shows on the internet. The company he works for now works with streaming video, and it's utilizing both his computer science and his film, and he's enjoying it, and he's lucky. He got what he wanted.
I can see somebody that might be a little the army.
Yeah.
The army who needs communication.
Right.
And he is one of the good. He met one of the good ones. And
yeah, he's a smart kid. But I doubt the last place in the world I could see Aaron in is the army. As much as you loved being in the army and you had a good life in the army, that's a place that Aaron would never go, and I know that.
But if it was explained to him, right, again, you're not going to have a guy like me. You're going to have somebody who knows how to talk to Alan.
Right,
to Aaron.
right.
And again, for what you read in the paper,
yeah.
You need a person like Alan, like Aaron.
Right.
You need a person like him.
Right, but the other thing is, though, what happens is, you go on an interview or you send a resume,
Right.
and people look at that resume, and maybe they look at it for like a minute, and then they make a decision on that resume or the cover letter in the minute or two that they look at it, because they have 100 of them or 1,000 of them, and they make a decision about a human being by just looking at something for a minute. So you don't get an opportunity. So people are looking, but there's just a glut of people looking for jobs, and of varying degrees of expertise and knowledge and intelligence. So and the problem is to get through. To get through to the core, to the real good people. It's very difficult. I know, because I was in charge of HR, human resources, in my last job, and you put something. You say there's a job opening, and you get hundreds of resumes, and it's almost humanly impossible to really review each one of those resumes. So you have all and there's wonderful people who you will never be able to meet, because they might be on the bottom of the stack, or you just didn't, you only glanced over their resume, because you have hundreds of them. You can't look at every single resume.
How about these people who get paid?
The recruiters?
No.
Yeah.
To write.
It doesn't matter. I mean, the thing is, it's that one of the tricks that Wendy taught me when I used to be looking for a job was, you don't send the resume out when it first comes up. You send the resume out like a couple of weeks later, because by that time, either they found someone or they're so disgusted with the people that they came and no one's, you wait until a little while after everybody threw their garbage out there, and then you send it. And I got a couple of jobs like that, because no one's sending it 2 weeks later. They're sending it usually the first few days. And a lot of times, I mean, we're currently where I work now, we're trying to get several positions filled that are important positions, highly paid positions, and we're using a recruiter who we actually paid to bring people in.
That's right.
And the quality of the people we're getting is not the greatest, and it's kind of disturbing.
That you're getting.
Right.
Are there people who are better than they are?
Of course.
Why?
That's the question. Why are we paying so much to this recruiter, and they're sending us people who aren't qualified for the job?
That's right. Why, of course.
But again, that's an issue that we're dealing with where I'm working right now, and we're frustrated. And I think everyone says, well, because the unemployment rate in New York City right now is at a low. It's very low. But so they're saying that all the qualified candidates, which I think is a bunch of crap, by the way, but they're saying that all the qualified candidates are taken. They got jobs already. But that's not true. I just think that the recruiter we're dealing with right now isn't getting the good people who are looking for jobs. But it's tough. It's very tough to fill jobs. It is. And then, you get all these people, and they're wonderful people. They come in, they're great people.
That's it, Alan.
But, you ask them a question.
No one talks bad about,
But then you look at a resume and it says, 1 year here, 1 year here, 10 jobs in 5 years or 10 years. And these are the people that they're sending. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's rough. It's rough to find qualified people. And I think, and I don't know why. Maybe because a lot of the qualified people don't go through recruiters. And I also think that some of these recruiters, because I've dealt with them when I've been looking for a job, I just send the resume, they just send it out. In other words, they're the middleman. Rather than they're actually trying to filter out bad people, as soon as you send it, in one hand, out the other. It's like this, with the resume.
Sure, they're the middle, because they're representing the one who's going to get it.
Right, but the problem is, they're not, it's like, I don't think they're doing that. I think it's a racket, I have to tell you.
Well, all right. Yeah. But
it's a rigged system. Oh no, that's as Trump would say. It's a rigged system.
But
yes. Right.
But Alan, really.
Yes.
Knowing all that, and knowing that the one who's going to get it,
yes,
knows all that also. In other words, the quality that he's talking to the person is, and the person knows that there is. After him, there's nobody.
Right.
He's going to get it better than if a different person is doing it.
Right. But we got so many people for one position, and each one of them, I mean, it didn't meet the level that we needed. So we decided, which we should have done in the first place, to promote a guy from within, and he's really great. He's a good friend of mine. He got promoted. He's a colleague now at the same level as I am. He had been working for many years. He's a family man. He was in the Army. The guy is, a
mensch.
A mensch, right. But the people that they brought in, maybe they had, these were people who were just trying to go the way I did it, okay? Basically, when I started being an accountant, I was already like 33 years old, right? So I started late because I'd been in Hollywood, right? And, so when I came back, and I went back to school, the first job I got, I was like 33 years old. So I decided that I was going to try to jump the ladder, go quickly up the ladder, and it worked for me. But at least the last job I had, I was there for 8.5 years. I plan to stay here maybe until I retire in my current job. So, but a lot of the kids today, their goals are to jump quickly, like I did, because they want to get to the level that they can't go higher in. The Peter principle, you go as high as you can until you start screwing up. So that's what people are doing right now. They go to the highest level of incompetence, and that's where they stay.
And you have 2 children,
right,
who are in that type of work that have the competition coming to them, and they're part of it.
Right. But the thing is, for Aaron, my concern was that I just wanted him to do something that he'd be happy doing, and to make a living, but to enjoy, because I really don't enjoy, I'll be honest, I don't really enjoy accounting. It's not, I enjoy some aspects of it, but it's not something that I wake up and say, great, I'm going to be doing some accounting today. It's, but I do it because it provides an income, a living. I make a living, right? And I could, basically, it supports my acting and all the things in my other life, so I could do the other stuff. I feel like I can't do this show and I can't do the scriptless unless I have money coming in, So I can't have the hobbies without the work. So that's the whole thing. So I work so I can enjoy myself with my hobbies, Do
you ever think of giving up?
What?
Saying
giving up what?
That. A show.
No.
Once you have the show, it's going to be complete.
No, it's going to continue.
It's going to continue.
Yeah, I don't want to give up anything. The thing I want to give up eventually is my job. I want to retire. Mm-hmm. But I can't see myself giving up anything else because the other stuff is the stuff that gives me pleasure. You know, this show and Scriptless. The accounting stuff, it gives me pleasure when I solve a problem, but most of the time it's a mundane, you know. And the other thing that gives me pleasure, I work with wonderful people. It's
that's another
unbelievable people. I mean, the people in my office, some of them have been there 20 years, you know, and they're union people. There's a union in our office. So everybody who's not management is part of the union. And you're a union guy, and your father was a union guy, so I really appreciate them. And they stick together, and they're strong. They don't take crap from anybody.
That's right.
And it's a good union, and they take care of their people. And and I'm management, so I'm the bad guy. But I really like my people, and my people, the people that work with me or for me. I have three direct reports, and they like me too. We're like a little family. We really have, I think, the best department in the organization.
And it shows in the work.
Well, it shows in how well they're great. They've all been there. The least person, I mean, the person other than me, who's been there the least amount of time, has been there 12 years. So it's like 12 years and up. And I'm working with people who are adults.
Right.
You know, like I'm talking about, the youngest is in the mid-40s, and who work in my team. And we all have families. One guy's a grandfather, and and these are my people. You know, it's great.
Does politics do anything?
Politics in my place. Well, the organization I work for is similar to the Legal Aid Society. Mm-hmm. So what happens is they take care of people who are poor, or who are. The maximum we'll take care of people are 200% of the poverty line. The poverty line. So a family of four in New York City who makes $40,000, I think it is, or $44,000 for a family of four in New York City we'll take care of. Anything 44 and under. And that's, you can't survive really in New York City for that amount of money. And that's twice the poverty level. Mm-hmm. So we give them free help for housing if they get evicted, like you used to do, except you guys, you told me they'd be taking the furniture out, you guys would be putting the furniture back into the apartment. In the old days, you told me about your father and you doing stuff like that. Here we have attorneys, 500 attorneys, 400 attorneys, whatever, who try to keep people in their homes. Because Mayor de Blasio in New York City mm-hmm. realizes the problem he's having with homeless people in New York City. So we get a lot of money from the HRA and HUD and all these other state, city, and federal grants to help people with homelessness, to keep them in their home, to help people with the LGBTQ, the gay people of the world for discrimination. We help all kinds of discrimination, in terms of ethnic discrimination. We help all different kinds of things, but foreclosures. We offer them civil legal services.
How about foreign countries?
What do you mean? Where it's only New York City. It's a New York City
it's only in New York City.
It's only New York City. The 5 boroughs. We have offices in every single borough, and separate, like big offices. I mean, Brooklyn is gigantic. We have I think Brooklyn itself is like a $10 million budget. I mean, it's unbelievable, what we have. It's a $70 million not-for-profit organization, which is pretty big. And all we do is take care of people's legal needs for people, who can't afford it. We have immigration law. We deal with that too. We're talking about foreign governments. One thing we do is we try to help immigrants. So we have grants to help immigrants become, through the process of becoming a citizen, things like that. Also discrimination for immigrants.
And is there money coming in all the time?
It's coming in. Well, the thing is, we have a lot of grants.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right, it's all grants. It's very little fundraising.
And the person who gets a grant actually
we get the grant. We get the grant from the government.
Oh.
Mostly from the federal. Most of our money comes from the federal, state, and local governments. And it's all to take care of people who can't afford to take care of themselves. But the problem with government money sometimes is that you have to wait even though you have the money you're promised the money, for whatever reason, sometimes you got to wait a long time. So you've already spent the money that you have salaries and all these people, and then you got to wait 6 months to get the money. So there's always that. It's the cash flow situation of when the money's, when the activities that you're getting paid for happen before. It's cost reimbursement. So in other words, you have to incur the cost before you get the money. So that, if you don't have a continuous cash flow, it could be significant, especially for a $71 million operation.
What you read now is something else about the veterans.
Right. We have. That's it. We take care of veterans too.
They were given.
Right. They were given money and they want it back. A bonus.
The bonus, and they want it back.
Right.
Isn't that an impossible thing to ask?
Well, they're saying now there's pushback, so they're trying not to do that to the veterans. But
so why would they even think of doing it?
Why would they think about running Trump for president? I don't know. I can't answer these questions.
Again,
so it's like, who the hell knows why people do what they do? You can't control people.
But am I right even to ask about that?
Right. I mean, how could you do that to the veterans? I mean, they put their lives on the line. And then they're going to take back a bonus that they were promised, and it was part of the deal.
And even the bonus goes that fast.
I know. It's only money.
It's money, yeah. It's Alan.
With all the waste in government, they're going to take the money away from the veterans?
Alan, I'm going to use that expression, right. And remember, it's only money.
But that money is needed by the veterans. The veterans always get screwed in. I mean, they do. That's the problem. They go out there, they risk their lives, to try to make their lives better.
That's right. I know.
And then and the people who have all the money, try to, the government, says, I'm sorry, we're going to take your bonuses back.
When you first heard of it, when I first heard of it, I said, who's it? I didn't want to say the Republicans, but
right.
Who ever even thought of a thing like that?
Yeah, but who knows? They're both the same. I mean, the Republicans and the Democrats.
I know
it's like it's all the same crap. And actually, I saw some. They had the Saturday Night Live goof on one of the debates, and they were talking about they were calling like Hillary Clinton basically the Republican, because she is. I mean, she a lot of her positions in terms of she's a tough woman.
All right.
I'm not saying, but I mean, obviously she's progressive, more progressive than than Trump, but she's not in the same league as
all right, but again,
right, as Bernie.
And believe it or not, Alan, I'm surprised. Not even they even put him on the show. She has so much percentage.
Yeah.
He has 2%, and the other guy has 3%. Yeah. But something might happen in the next 2 weeks.
You never know. With WikiLeaks and all this other crap that's going on, it's just amazing what's happening. I mean, this is the most farcical election. Have you ever seen anything like this? You're 101 years old. Have you ever seen anything like this?
No. Right.
But you went through the McCarthy era.
Right. There were other things besides the McCarthy era. The Un-American Committee.
Right.
Alan.
But that was during the McCarthy era. A lot of that.
But again, you couldn't believe that a thing like that.
And it gets worse and worse and worse, it seems.
Yeah,
I mean, and then you have all this crap that we're dealing with. I mean, what's happening? I just hope the new generation doesn't breed people. But you see who
the new generation, starting at when?
With Aaron.
No, that's what I'm starting with. At a certain age.
Yeah,
Cara, how about Cara?
Well, Cara's behind after. She'll be part of it. But it's just amazing. I mean, look what we have. Running for president. I mean, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. So what should we do? O sage of wisdom, Father.
I really don't know. Yeah. You make up your mind that you're not. We're not even supposed to be talking about.
I don't care, but what the hell? No one's. No one will care. I'll put it that way.
We better change this subject.
Why? Too much politics?
Politics.
Yeah.
Even though we're a son and a father,
again,
the best thing to do.
It's too late. We did the whole show about politics.
I know it, Alan. And even though we say we're not, like you say, every show is going to be about politics.
Well, no, but this one was really about politics, but it's been a crazy time. I mean, everyone's been experiencing this crazy time. This is unusual. I mean, you look, I'm watching CNN or something like that, And you can't believe, you watch the commentators and they can't believe what's coming out of people's mouths in this election. I mean, who would think about talking about stuff this kind of stuff, and they're running for president? I mean, it's like, this is the best we got in this country? It's sad. It really is.
And I compare them again to McKinley,
Right.
to Wagner,
Right.
to these guys who they could be jerks, I don't give a, but their image
Right.
is a stately person
Right.
who's going to have all the troubles on his mind and all that. And you see these two guys of even Hillary
I
Clinton.
know, they're both like, they're going in the gutter, and it's just not
No.
right. It's not right.
I even heard, I'm not kidding you, you heard he was a bum, right? And the other guy saying, please, there are some good bums in the world.
That's it. You're insulting bums when you call them. That's the joke. I like that joke.
Alan, really,
Right.
again,
Right.
what?
And I feel, and the thing is, and in the balance, they talk about the Supreme Court is in balance over here.
Oh, that's
one way or
another-
the other. That's the most important thing.
Right.
Whoever these jokers are that are running for president, the key thing is who's going to be who's going to be the tiebreaker
That's
with
right,
the
because
Supreme
once
Court.
this guy left,
Right.
there's a three.
It's even.
There's
Right. It's an even deal. They're looking for the ninth, right? Isn't it? There's 9, I think.
there's a number over there. Now
There's
it's
only
8.
it's 4 and 4. Right. So what's going to happen? It swings both ways, right?
Well, our big isn't.
A big isn't. We'll find out. And it's only a couple of weeks. I mean, it's crazy.
That's it.
And there's that Jewish expression that you always say, Zvet kimenat sight. There'll come a time when we'll find out soon, right?
Those 2 weeks are going to be flying, Alan. They're going to be flying unbelievable.
I just hope that there's no, hacking of the computers and all this other stuff.
I think when it's going to be all over,
Yeah.
it's going to be legitimate.
Right.
Even though whatever, both of them could call it
Right.
but it's a legitimate thing.
Right.
One likes it, and the other one doesn't like
But
it.
the idea of pulling everything out that anyone ever said, ever, well, because we're now in this age where, whatever you say just is there forever, and they actually see you saying it because of all the videos that's out there. You have to think now about what they're going to pull out 10 years from now or 20 years from now. You have to really be conscious of everything you say all the time. It's bad.
And what's the troubling thing? Those new, you can't get away with it.
Yeah.
Something called a selfie, where you can
Right.
take a picture. Everyone has it in their hand.
Right.
And all of a sudden they'll take, hey, look what I have. Look what they're talking about. But this guy,
Right.
I still don't understand the way a computer works.
I know. But, there's always one thing that you do understand, that there's always just one thing left to say. It's a wrap. Good night, folks.